Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight's topic, this economy under President Obama was doomed regarding liberal policies. This economy under President Obama was doomed under liberal policies. What do I mean by liberal policies? Well, Obama, when he got in office, one of his big legacies was the health care bill. He rammed it through. Nobody read it. Now, when you look at all the numbers, no matter how deceptive, how beautifying the speeches are, there are a lot of people out there living in doom and gloom. And if you understand the economy, it's more than just wages, benefits, has to do with GDP, stock market, recession. Now, granted, when Obama came in at first, it wasn't his fault. The housing market collapsed. That's because individuals who really weren't qualified, they were getting houses on loans that they couldn't pay back. That's why you don't have countrywide lending anymore. AIG took a hit. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We could bring all the inspiration and enthusiasm, but here's what you can't do. You can't grow money on trees. Now, here's one of the reasons why the economy is bad. Now, granted, when Obama came into office, the unemployment rate was 7.8. Today, it's 5.0. However, as more and more Americans stop looking for work, the labor force participation rate on Obama's watch has fallen from 65.7% to 62.8%, a level last measured before Obama in March 1978. Now, since Obama took office, the metric has slid about 4%. Last month, we did see a creation of 160,000 jobs. That's a widely panned number, which is 200,000 jobs only generated in the last 6 months. So you take 6 into 200,000, you're roughly around 30,000 jobs. But what types of jobs were being created? A lot of them were unskilled labor types of jobs. There weren't anything in the tech industry. Meanwhile, the annualized GDP growth nearly stalled in the first quarter at a meager 0.5%. This is down from already a tepid 1.4% growth in the fourth quarter of 2015. Obama is the only U.S. chief executive in history not to preside over even a single year with a 3% GDP growth. Now, that's based on the information that I got from the Institute for Policy Innovations. That's Tom Giovannetti. Now, this is what he observed. From 1790 to 2000, U.S. real GDP growth averaged 3.79%. Entrepreneur Louis Woodhull explained at Real Clear Markets he expects the final figures to show that 2015 will have been the 10th year in a row that the real GDP growth came in at under 3%. Now, during the Obama years, the number of Americans have fallen below the poverty line, and that is up 3.5%. Real median household income down 2.3%. Americans on food stamps, they were at 33 million. Now they're at 46 million now. That is up 39.5%. Americans who own homes, that's down 5.6%. National debt, 10.63 trillion then. Now it is 19.19 trillion. That's last Wednesday, up 80%. Now that's almost doubled since he's come into office. Meanwhile, millions of college-educated millennials are languishing in their parents' basements and are wallowing in student debt with limited prospects. Many of those who have found work lag behind their predecessors. Now, a report by New York City's Democratic Comptroller Scott Stringer found that Gotham employees born between 1985 and 1996 earned nearly 20% less than their peers a generation earlier. Lack of work and lower wages are a recipe for student debt hangovers. Robust economic growth is the cure. Now, right now, the generation is at a crossroads. They worked hard, got an education, they faced roadblocks to getting a good paying job. Now, Stringer told the U.S. News and World Report, we need to foster an economy that helps young people get ahead, not one that holds them back. Also, insurance companies are fleeing Obamacare exchanges. Now, amid $650 million in expected losses are coming this year. United Health announced that it would medevac itself out of all but a handful of its 34 state markets. The percentage of families in which no one is employed has grown from 17.8% in 2008 to 19.7% in 2015. That is from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Also, Americans are suffering the awful legacy of the last 8 years. Now, Bill Clinton said in March, he explained on April 26th, the problem is 80% of the American people are still living on what they were living on before the stock market or the market crashed in 2008. About half of the American people, they have to adjust after inflation. And they're living on the last day when he was president. So here's what's happening. The cost of goods has gone up. I mean, if you look at gas, usually gas is right around, let's say 179, 189. It's been up. It's been going up to 235, down to 250. Now that's here in the Indiana area. I don't know what it is in the other area, but also something else when you go out and look for jobs. Okay. And I said in one of my videos previously that jobs that we normally wouldn't be looking for, such as hotel jobs or cook jobs, if you go into the Indeed browser, INDEED, you can look at how many people applied for a certain job. And I found for a night audit job, which is a hotel job, you work 11 to 7. Here in Portage, Indiana, and Gary, and so many other northwest Indiana and Chicagoland areas, you've had hundreds of people apply for that one job. Now, what individuals don't know is that job may have already been filled, but people are still applying. There's a lot of game playing here in the job market. And when you look at the numbers that I presented earlier, the reason why they seem down is because, again, people stop looking for work. Also, if you have your own business, you're not part of the payroll. That's where we get the numbers from. And for black Americans, I believe the jobless rate is in double digits, probably around 16, 17%. But we're not given those numbers because the government, what they do, they utilize deception. When I see that 160,000 jobs were created last month, we don't really know if they were created. They may have been created over, again, 2 months, 3 months. Because prior to that, you had 200,000 jobs that were created with jobs totaling $31,000 per month for almost 7 months in a row. Well, really, when you look at all the numbers, no matter how many times Obama speaks, now is it all his fault? No. But his main legacy is the health care bill, and that's in danger of being struck down. So, if you don't have a job right now, it's going to get worse. I don't know how Donald Trump is going to govern this country. But one thing I can tell you about any economy, particularly the United States economy, it will recover. It did after the stock market crashed in 1929. It did after World War II. It did after the Vietnam War. And it recovered when President Reagan got in office. What we need policies that favor economics instead of liberal policies that deter businesses from growing. You have a lot of radical environmentalists who are talking about, and at one time they were talking about knocking down the Hoover Dam. Well, I'm an engineer. That's hydroelectric power. It's a big dam. Why would you want to destroy a big force of our electrical power? If you wanted clean power, nuclear power, it works. But again, the environmentalists didn't want it. And see what happens with a lot of these liberal policies. When I hear the liberals talk about the wealthiest 1%, they are in the wealthiest 1%. But here's the problem. They're not producing anything. They're utilizing their rhetoric to be parasites off of the working people. If you look at it, there are not a lot of millionaires in the United States. Because if that were true, most of us would be millionaires. But there are a lot of working people who pay taxes. So in the middle class, you have people like myself who get up, we go to work every day, and our tax money goes to the rich and it goes to the poor. And at the end of the day, it is your middle class who is stuck paying all the bills. So, Mr. Trump, you're coming in office, some people voted for you. Your first order of business, you need to get this economy straight. Starting with job creation. And this is edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show for Wednesday, December 28th, 2016. You can tune into the 401 Talk Zone radio show now starting on Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest caller number is 215-383-5785. And if you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube and Blog Talk Radio. I don't take donations, but what I am giving you, I'm giving you free information. It's quality information, but I'm giving it to you from a professional, mature perspective. Now, on my channel, I don't engage in any controversial issues, nor do I debate. What I do, I present everything from an educational point of view. Yes, it's reality because you have to apply your education in order to prove the theory. But one thing I will tell you, I keep everything positive and respectful. Also, if you have a business or a topic that you would like for me to discuss on Blog Talk Radio, you can email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And I like comments. Please leave in the comments section under all of my videos. But make sure that your comments are pithy, no bloviating or pettifogging. If you wish to opine. That's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other and have a wonderful and blessed night. Good night.